Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are building something incredible. A real-time AI face recognition app which runs entirely in your browser. No servers, no complex setups, just pure JavaScript magic powered by Google's MediaPipe. And the best part, I'm going to show you exactly how to build it from scratch. This is the kind of AI that a few years ago would require massive server farms. Now it runs on your laptop. And before we go to the idea to code a little bit, let's take a look what's that Google MediaPipe. For that we need to go to aigoogle.dev, here we need to go to solutions, and here we need to find section run on device, and then we need to click on that Google AI Edge. And in that section they have some explanation what they have inside, and here they mention, for example, low-code APIs for common AI tasks, and in this example we can see there is some kind of movement recognition. That's what we need. For that we need to go to that MediaPipe, and here we need to click on that MediaPipe solutions. Here they have explanation of this MediaPipe solutions, but we need to scroll down a bit, and here there is the full list of available solutions, and we will need that face detection, and we see that face detection is available for web. Let's click on it. Here they have full explanation of face detection, and here they have a link to code example and guide for web. And down below they have some configuration options and explanation what kind of models are used and some benchmarks. Let's get some React application and try to implement that face recognition there. I created React 19 app with a Vite, Tailwind, Framer Motion and Lucid React. So this three is not actually necessary, but I added them just to have nice design. And here at the top you can see also I installed MediaPipe Task Vision. That's what you need to have in your project. And that's all packages, but we will need to use some direct links just to make face recognition work. I will show you that a bit later. Here is app component, and here we will have another component with face recognition. And I will keep all the logic related to face recognition in one component just to make it convenient to go through the code and explain you how it works. For that I created another folder components, and here I created component face recognition. Let's go inside. So now let's implement everything step by step. First of all, we need to import few things from MediaPipe Task Vision, and it's gonna be a face detector and file set resolver. Then inside the component we need to define few states and ref. So it's gonna be loading state, it's gonna be state to check if a model is loaded, just to have proper error handling in that case. Also we have state for the errors, and we have that face detector reference which we're gonna use a bit later. Then we need to define function to initialize MediaPipe, and here is what's inside it. Inside the function we have try catch block, and then inside we set in the state for loading, and we set error as empty string. We define a vision variable, and here we call for vision tasks from file set resolver, and in that part we pass direct URL to CDN. And why are we actually doing this if we already installed package? Let me explain you that. In PM package what we installed is just JavaScript wrapper, but the heavy lifting it actually happens in that WASM. This URL downloads actual AI processing engine. We can bundle it locally, but it will increase build size significantly. And if you want everything self-hosted, you can go for fully local approach. In that part we assign to face detector the next thing. So here we call create from options, and we call it from face detector, and here we pass that vision, and here we have another direct URL which we assign to model asset path, and that actually trained AI model which is the brain of face recognition. In that field delegate, we can specify GPU, and that means that MediaPipe will use our GPU for AI processing. And then we specify that we want running mode video. In the last part we have field minimum detection confidence, and you can set it to 0.3. That means that if model is confident about the face detection, and the confidence supposed to be more than 0.3, then it has some output result. So let's try with 0.3, but yeah, you can play with that number. Then we do state reset, and here we have console log just to mention in console that MediaPipe task API initialized. And also we have that error part where we set error and also we output error to console. And in the finally step, we have we resetting the loading state to false. In the next phase, we need to have functionality to detect faces and also draw these detections on the screen. First, in the beginning of the file, we need to define interface and we can call it face detection result. And here we will have ID, confidence, bounding box with coordinates width and height, and key points. Also, we need to add more states and refs. And of course, we need to call that initialize MediaPipe. And for that, we're gonna use effect, which is gonna call that initialize MediaPipe on first render. And also we need to have cleanup functionality. So here we check if animation frame ref current doesn't equal to null. We call cancel animation frame and we pass that animation frame ref current. And now the main part, detect face in video functionality. Here we're gonna use callback. And then inside, first we need to have that video canvas and detector. And here we use refs to video canvas and face detector ref. That's gonna be our hooks to DOM element. Right after this, we have check if video canvas or detector is undefined. We assign to animation frame ref current new animation frame, and for that we use request animation frame. And here we pass that detect faces in video. In that part, we define the proper size of the video, and right after we have functionality to actually get these detections. Here we comparing the current time of the video with the last video time ref just to make sure that we don't re-render same frame. Then we call a detector for video from detector, and here we pass video reference and also timestamp. In that variable, we're gonna store all detections returned from this method, and then we need to create canvas and we map through all detections and we assign here ID, confidence and bounding box values. Then we set these detections to state and we call draw detections helper where we pass that canvas and faces. Here we assign new timestamp to last frame time ref current, and here also we have else block in case if we don't have any faces detected. In catch block, we're gonna return error to console. In that line, we assign current time of the video to last video time ref, and in that part, we assign that call to animation frame ref current. And after that goes that draw detections function, which we call in that part. In that part, we check if canvas is rendered, and then we go through the all face detections and we draw some lines across the face just to highlight it in the screen that this is the face detected. Besides these lines, we also gonna show some text with the face and index number of that face, and also we gonna show confidence level. And that's it with the main part. Now we need to add some markup. And here is it. As I mentioned, I use Tailwind for styling, and also I use Framer Motion and some components from Lucid React. In that part, we have main title, then we check if model is loaded, we show AI model ready, otherwise we show loading state. Also here we have error, in case if error happened, we show that component with error. And then we have the main components where we're gonna show video from our camera with a face detection. And in the end, we have two buttons to start camera and stop camera. And for that, we need to create helpers. So let's take a look at them. Here we set state to loading true and also empty to error. And here we check if a model is loaded and we have that video reference. Then we create stream, for that we call navigator media devices get user media, and here we pass the size and also the option facing mode user. So here we set the proper size of that video, and also here we call face detector ref and we set options running mode video. And in stop camera, the main logic that we cancel animation frame and we reset all the states. And that's it. Component is ready. Don't forget to import it to app component, and we are ready to run it. Here is it, and we have the sign that AI model is ready, so we are ready to run it and start the camera. And it works. So you can see that a green frame sticked to my face, and also we can see that it is mentioned there that face 1 is detected and the confidence is around 90%. And here is another thing. If I show my hand, it also detects it, but it shows that the confidence is around 40%. And basically we can fix it. Let's go back to the code and let's check this value here for mean detection confidence level, and let's put 80% here. Let's try now whether it will still detect my hand. Okay, it's still detecting the face, but what about hand? So you see that it doesn't detect hand anymore. And that's a wrap up on AI face recognition app. I hope you had as much fun building this as I did sharing it with you. You know what's amazing? We just created something that uses the same technology powering apps used by millions of people every day. Google Meet, Zoom, TikTok filters, they all rely on similar face detection tech. If you found this helpful, a like would mean the world to me. It really helps other developers find these tutorials. And if you don't want to miss next Dev Insights, please subscribe to the channel. Also drop a comment if you got any questions. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.